Hello, today I'll be discussing the significant contribution that my educator has made to education. So my choice is Chris Sarra. Mr. Sarra is the youngest of 10 and was born into an Italian Aboriginal family on September the 21st, 1967. Mr. Sarra become well known in August 1998 as he accepted to become the first Aboriginal principal of Cherburra State School. Cherburra is a Aboriginal community school about 300 kilometres northwest of Brisbane. From that work, Mr. Sarra went on to win many awards in Aboriginal education, such as the 2004 Queenslander of the Year. He was also crowned Queensland's Australian of the Year in 2010, and most recently was awarded by the NAIDOC Awards the 2016 Person of the Year, which is up there. Mr. Sarra, his contributions to education were he raised the bar for Aboriginal students, making sure they were striving for the best and using all their ability rather than being happy with mediocre. So people usually say that Aboriginals are underachievers, but he wanted to set that higher standard, both academically and behaviour outside of school. What is significant about his contribution? So Mr. Sarra just changed the view of Aboriginal education. He was quoted in 2006, which is under here, as principal, I made it clear that I would not tolerate failure. As an Aboriginal person, I also made it unclear I would to not tolerate failure. And that went on through the school and just making sure that both parents and children began to value education. And that was his first movement as new principal of the school. Mr. Sarra's work has become extremely relevant in Australian education. He's changed the views that how Aboriginal students were treated in schools. He changed the beliefs and the expectations as well of Aboriginals. And he spoke about the complexity of white education teachers in Aboriginal communities and how they need to change their thinking about, and it was also about how hard it is to be a white person teaching in an Aboriginal community. Why is Chris Sarra important to me? So I'm studying to become a PE teacher, and that was what he started off being. He studied at in Queensland and studied a Bachelor of Education in PE. He also worked and changed Aboriginal communities, which is something I want to do. Currently, once I graduate, I'm looking at doing some experience in Aboriginal communities and use what Mr. Sarra has taught me and has studied to help change more Aboriginal community views on education and hopefully help the Australian future. So I've got a few examples of him teaching Aboriginals, and then obviously the Indigenous flag, which is very important to him as a person. Thanks for listening.